Hi guys, it's Carol Lee with Coaching with Carol Lee. Okay, it's been a couple of weeks. I've been really busy, not necessarily anything all that, or not work-wise. A couple weeks ago went camping for an extended weekend with the girls, and it was cold and rainy, but we had a blast. So, who cares, right? So yeah, we just took off in the camper. We had electric that weekend, so we could listen to music while we were playing games and doing things. So it was really fun. And then a few days after getting back from camping, I went to Pennsylvania to visit my mom. And we went and looked at a campground there that I'm thinking about possibly work amping at, which is you might work 15, 20 hours a week and you get a free campsite. Or you might get paid a little bit and get the campsite, for free. So I might do that for a couple months next spring just to get me out and, stuff like that. I don't know. So we did go look at a place and it was pretty fun. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about how to save the money or how to start saving money so that you can eventually get to your dream. Because just about every dream takes money. So we're going to do a couple of ways to save money, like in a bank or something like that. Maybe I'll do another one sometime, like on how to save on things, services, stuff like that. I know that seems kind of like a strange thing to talk about being a coach, but that is part of coaching, is coming up with a plan to save for your dreams. So I'm going to get to the top 7 that I figured. There's so many more, and please feel free to put a comment below if you have any other cool ideas for saving money. The first one that I thought was really cool, of course the birds are going to start making noise. I'm in the house right now. I have a new baby, a bearded dragon. Maybe I'll put its picture at the end. Okay, so I wrote down that this idea came from somebody called Paula Plant on YouTube, but I can't find it now. So River came from. She had something like a year's worth of, or every week for a year you do something different or something like that, or every month. I can't remember because I can't find it. But the first idea she had, and I thought this was really cool, because a lot of people say, I have nothing. I cannot save a penny. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. How about if you start saving just 1%, okay? 1% of your paycheck. That's, what is it, $10 per every $1,000. So can you find $10 somewhere in your budget, even if you're living, and you're probably not making $1,000 a week anyways, or a lot of people aren't, a lot of people are. But if you're working like a minimum wage job and you just can't see a way to do it, could you spare 1% of your paycheck? It's only, a gallon less of milk a week for some people. So that's one thing she suggested. And then she said after you got used to doing that, every 3 months increase it by 1%. Or if you want, if you feel good about this now, you can increase it by more. It's totally up to you. Number 2. Done. Look around your house. Find something you don't use, you don't need, and sell it on Craigslist or Facebook pages, whatever. Either put it towards a bill or put it in the bank. It's one less piece of whatever you have around your house and you've made a little bit of money. So, number 3, list all of your annual expenses. This means your school taxes, property taxes, if your kids have a school uniform once a year you have to pay for. If your kids are in sports, figure that in. And then divide it by 12 and bank that. And learn to the rest is your play money if you figured in your food, your mortgage, your everything. Okay. One guy from my church at one time had given a sermon on saving money, and I thought this was a really good idea, but you have to get yourself slowly get into this. But he said, figure I bought my washer and dryer. It'll be 2 years ago in November, I think. So if I'm lucky, they'll last another 13 years. So right away, I should be figuring out, 13 years from now and divided by how many months, and I should be putting that amount into a separate account, for repairs and new appliances, stuff like that. Same thing, my roof is 5 years old. I don't know. I can't remember what it costs, but, figure how much is a new roof going to cost in 15, 20 years and kind of do that. I thought that was a really cool idea, but that's tough to do all that. I mean, it sounds like a lot of money, but when you're figuring some of these things you may not need for 15, 20 years, if you put it in an interest-bearing account and you don't touch it except if you need it, then hey, speaking of appliances, I just heard my fridge. Something else, just before we went to camp, it was 5, 6 days before I went to camp, my refrigerator broke. Pooped the bed. So my daughter's boyfriend came over because he's an apartment maintenance guy. And I knew I heard like a pop, and I saw a blown, looked like a fuse, or not a fuse, something like that. But as he looked, and we determined that it sounded funny just before it did it, that maybe the fan and that thing blew, and. So to get them online, it was like $80 some. And I'm like, okay, I can pay that, and if it works, great. Okay. Or I can go get a used one for probably $150. Or I can get a new one. My kitchen needs an updating. Both the stove and fridge are 20 years old. I decided, since I don't know if I'm going to live here forever, and if I do sell my house, whoever moves in probably would want to redo the kitchen their way anyways. I figured, let's go for the gusto, go for the $80 thing, $80 some in parts. And I paid him a little bit to do it. But if it works, I've got like a brand new fridge. And if it doesn't work, I have an almost brand new fridge. There's like one or two more parts. There's not that many parts in a fridge. So even if I traded it in for a used one, I might get one for like $75. So I got the parts. He fixed it. It didn't work. We're like, what the heck? It doesn't seem to be getting power there. He checked down below, and there was a wire broken or chewed by a mouse. You never know. I live in the country. It's like, ooh, I hate them. But anyways, he fixed that wire, and now the thing's working great. Was the wire, that little wire, the fault of everything? I don't know, but I've got an almost brand new fridge, so for like $100, something like that, a little more. So anyways, but that's some of the things he was talking about. Like if I had been saving money for 20 years, I'd have money to get a brand new fridge and maybe even remodel my whole kitchen if I'm getting interest. Number four. This one, I think most of you probably already done it, but if you haven't, cut the cable. Chop, chop, chop. That is such a waste of money. I heard somebody talking about it. I can't remember who. But they said, when you think about it, like say I might turn my TV on at like 7, 8 o'clock at night, watch it for a couple hours, even though I'm not even really watching it half the time. But when you think about, you are paying every month to watch these couple channels. You might get 20, 30 channels on a basic cable thing. And it's like $75 a month. And half of what you are paying is to watch commercials. What the heck? So you'd be better off just getting, what do you got? Roku or one of those kinds of deals. Go through your YouTube. Oh, let's see. Oh, number 5. This has been my favorite so far, and I just can't believe it's actually hasn't hurt at all, really. And I talked about this in my last video. I can't remember how much I had done. Anyways, some people like save every quarter or every dollar or every $5 bill. So I read about that, and I'm like, I'm going to start saving every $5 bill. So, if you've already heard this story, excuse me, but I'll just tell it real fast. Like, right after I decided to do this, I'd gone to the bank. My daughter was with me. She's 22. And I got a $100 bill because it was a weekend, and who knows what you might want to do, right? can't always use your card. So I had to go to Family Dollar just to grab, I don't know, I got something for $4, $7, something weird like that. Didn't the cashier give me not one, not two, not three fives in my change, but 11, $55 in change. I'm like, so I told my daughter, I'm like, oh, crap. She goes, what? And I said, oh, I just started saving every five, and this guy just gave me $55 in fives. And she says, well, you don't have to save them all. And I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have faith. So ever since then, I've been saving every $5 bill. And as of right now, I started this, I think, like mid-September. I've got $155. And honestly, I barely missed it. I mean, if I had it in my hand, I would have found something to spend it on. Believe me, but, you know. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it's just fun watching it, every couple of weeks, adding it and going, wow, Oops, sorry. I don't know where that. Okay. Number 6. This is a good one. And this takes a lot of confidence, and it's a little scary, but research online. Are you getting paid enough for your position? The last place I worked there over 2 years and never got a raise. But it was an agency where everybody got raises at the same time, so what are you going to do? Either stick with it or you leave. Bye. But anyways, what if you're not getting paid enough? Maybe you can go into your supervisor or the HR department and ask for a raise. You never know. And if you do get a raise, put the extra in the bank. Don't even look at it. Okay? Have it automatically deducted. It's so much easier. Number 7, and I forgot to mention this. I've talked in a couple of videos how I obtained my dream of getting my RV, whatever. One thing I did forget to put, and I didn't even know it, so I was looking at my resume one day. I'm like, I forgot to put a job down for one of the jobs I worked. Okay, so for a while, I was working this kind of crappy part-time retail job, and I needed more hours. So I was trying to get a better job, but it ended up being only another part-time job. So I worked 2 part-time jobs at once. So it equaled full-time or more, depending on the hours and such. After the second part-time job, that ended. I worked at like June to November, because it was a seasonal thing. After that ended, I stayed at the other part-time job till I got a full-time job. And then I kept both for several months. And then I quit the part-time one because I wanted to pursue the life coaching thing. And the full-time job was pretty much the same thing as the coaching, except working with kids and young adults. So, but I'll tell you what, picking up, I've got some money. I don't even really need a job, only if I want more than the basics, right? So, no, but I mean, I could build my business quicker and stuff like that. I don't necessarily have to work. Excuse me, I'm playing with something. I don't necessarily need an outside job, but it brought me to my goals like years quicker than I would have if I just didn't do anything, or just, the coaching, I can make some money with it, but it does take time to build up a clientele and do other things. So that was my other suggestion, is temporarily maybe pick up a second job. I know it rots. Some of us can't even, one job, you're like, I can't handle life. Okay, so that was the 7 ways, okay? But then as I was thinking about these, I almost said it earlier, but I'll come up with an 8th way. It's not necessarily a way to save money, but get addicted to saving money. Look at how much you're saving and say, yay, and, congratulate yourself. Every time you deny yourself something. Like the other day, I was starving, and I'm going by McDonald's. And, there's a Friendly's. Ooh. And what other kinds of places? And I'm like, no, you're going to be home soon. You just got to run to the grocery store and run to the pet store, then go home. So then in the grocery store, of course, I'm Already hungry. I had breakfast, but it was like almost noon. So I'm getting hungry. I'm going down and, oh, look at this. Donuts. No. Not only is it not good for your health, your diet, it's horrible for your bank account. Even if it's only $1 for a donut, because then you got to buy a milk or something with it. So, no, I just denied myself all that stuff. So. Anyway, that's my 8 ways. Was there anything else I could tell you? I don't know. I think that's it. So, anyways, peace out, dudes, and I will see you soon. Have a great one. Bye.